to the BIM Hunter Hive podcast, where you listen to interesting fictional stories from aspiring authors for your listening pleasure and relaxation.
Hey there, welcome to BIM Hunter Hive Storytelling podcast. I'm your host, Omobolanle. In today's episode, we'll be discussing Tales from My Childhood. Again, Tales from My Childhood. We'll be discussing memories, mischief, and meaning collision we've had in the past. So today we have a very special guest joining us, someone with a full story of laughter, lessons, and a little neighborhood rivalry. Chinwe, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me. Hi everyone, my name is Chinwe, and it's a pleasure to be here today.
Great to have you here, Chinwe. I love that energy. Now let's dive right in. Childhood is full of stories, some funny, some embarrassing, and some that stick with us forever. So if you had to pick one story from your childhood that shaped you or still makes you laugh to this day, what's the first one that comes to mind?
Thank you, Omobole. So, as funny and silly as it may sound, I remember my periodical fight with my neighbor. When kids fight over petty issues and also to establish who owns the seniority belt. So we were both born in the same year and month and almost the same day. So she's a day older than me, but a lot chubbier, of course, than I was. So going by size and strength, she had an edge over me and gave a lot of confidence to start a fight. But my determination and resilience did not allow me to succumb to defeat, which made me develop a systematic approach to winning the fight because I was bent on winning the fight. I can afford to lose. It's a seniority fight, of course. So I would push her to a vulnerable position and target a weak point on her body where I would inflict my strokes. She's chubbier, so I need to do vice too, So, for example, I could make her sit on the floor, then give her a sharp pinch on her legs, because I used to keep my nails done.
Okay.
Or, she used to have this cornrow her mom does for her. She was the last child. And I'll pull her newly done cornrows. I'm always happy when the fight comes after she's just on her cornrows. It could be a bit painful to the scalp. So that would cause a sharp pain on her scalp, and which made her cry, of course. And the idea is whoever cries first loses the fight. So, that's a very short cut to winning the fight. So I learned quickly that you may not have the advantage of strength, but you have a better and smart strategy. When you have a better strategy, you can defeat your opponent. So why go the strength route when I know that obviously I've already lost? So I use a systematic approach. So when our brothers or our siblings, she was the last one, when they hear her cry, they come to the rescue, and I feel like the champion. I won the fight already.
Both hilarious and I would say impressively tactical. So I was wondering, it's wild how creative we can get as kids when we are trying to prove a point, And honestly, that's such a real life lesson. You don't always need the upper hand in strength.
Exactly.
Just strategy and resilience.
Exactly.
You win your battles. So let me ask, how do you apply that lesson now in your everyday life?
That's a great question. Oh, honestly, yes, it shows up all the time in work, relationships, even how I approach problems. Life, that's what life's about, really. You have a lot of challenges we need to face. So whenever I feel outmatched or when I'm facing a particular situation, maybe in the workplace, a relationship, I remind myself of that child who stood her ground. Okay. A child that is resilient, determined, and do not succumb to defeat easily. I try to approach things with more strategy thinking, like, okay, where's the weak points in this challenge? That's where I target. So what angle haven't I tried yet? It helps me stay calm, focused, and creative. So that's how it has really helped me in real life situations.
Awesome response, Chinwe. Awesome. I'm enjoying this conversation already. As silly as the story may sound, like you said, obviously, and as childish, as it may sound, it is a lot of things we can learn from our childhood stories, really. Let's just go on this short break and we'll be right back.
Stories are not just told, they are lived, felt, and remembered. Every pause holds a heartbeat, every word leaves a trace. Stories are not just told, they are lived, felt, and remembered. Every pause holds a heartbeat, every word leaves a trace. La 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 la.
So, Chinwe, I'll proceed by asking this question. So, do you know why this stuck to you in particular? Why this particular story? Why did it stick to you? And if the story resonates with your friend the same way as it does with you, are you still in touch with your friend? And do you think this particular story resonates with your friend as it does with you?
I've not really thought about this, but I think it was a thoughtful question. So, I think this story stuck with me because this was one of the first times I felt empowered by my own resourcefulness. You feel proud of yourself after the fight. You feel like, oh my God, I just did this. And as a child, you don't have control over much,
Exactly.
But in that tiny moment, I felt like I figured something out about the world, all right? As for my friend, I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
We've laughed about it once or twice as adults because we've met on few occasions.
Okay.
When we sat taunting each other, we're like, I used to, I used to beat you. That's what when we were younger. So we've laughed about it once or twice as adults, and I think for her, it's not just be a funny memory, but for me, it was transformative.
Awesome.
Thank you.
That brings me to the next question. So, what makes stories stick with people? You wonder. So, I may be going the route of psychology now, but I just wonder, why do some particular stories stick with people in general? So, bringing out to fiction writing, because that's what we do mostly on this podcast. So, bringing out to fiction writing, what makes a storyline appeal to people that makes them memorable?
Awesome question. Awesome question. Mobala. So I love it when we talk about fiction writing. So what makes a story stick? I think it comes down to three things really. The emotional truth. Even in fiction, when emotions feel real, readers connect. Okay. That's what is soap operas. Let's translate it to television series now. You can connect. You do. Someone falls in love with the heart is broken afterwards. When you have such memories, you can relate and you communicate or you connect with that story. And I feel like fiction writing is also almost the same. When we connect with the story, it sticks with you. It's in your memory, like relatable. And that's the second point that will be coming to relatability. So when you see a version of yourself or who they used to be in the story, they get hooked to the story.
Exactly.
Okay. And also, if it's transformative, like I said the other time, Remember stories that show change, that makes you learn, makes you, I discover how to win people that are bigger than me, you know. So a character who grows, fails, overcomes, those hacks mirror our human journey. So in fiction, it's not just about how good a plot is, it's about whether the reader feels something deeply to carry it beyond the page. So I think that's what makes a story stick to individuals. However, it doesn't have to necessarily appeal to other people, and there's also factor that if you are, it's not relatable, maybe when you enjoy it, it stirs up an emotion of, feel good emotion within you. You feel you've learned something. So if it doesn't connect in that regard of memory wise, it may be the feel good feeling, the emotion, the dopamine you feel from it. So that's how I answer that.
Amazing, awesome insight. So I agree that when readers can relate with a storyline, it happens to most of us. It gets them into the character. Like you assume you're the one. When you follow a television series, you're like, I'm that lady, I'm that guy. I like this person, football match and everything. So you choose a team, you can connect. So yeah, awesome insight. But if it's not something that's down that has happened to you, it stirs up something, a value, moral aspect of you or something. So yeah, awesome insight. Thanks for that response. And like I said, it makes it memorable. But I just want to know, have you read any fictional book that reminds you of any childhood story? So let's get personal now. So if yes, what was the story about and what is the title of the book?
Oh, okay. You're taking me back on memory lane now. So let me think of all this. Oh, which book now? I think one that comes to mind is the Sugar Girl. So in primary school.
Yeah, I think I remember the
Sugar Girl.
Yeah,
the author is Kola Onodikwe. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I think I read the book when I was in primary school.
Same here.
So the book talks about the adventure of a young girl named Ralia who faced adversity. So she found herself in an evil forest and several evil encounters before she could find her way home. So this story, it emphasizes the importance of kindness, obedience, resilience, patience. This stuck with me till this day. It was a bit of a frightening story, though, but it was enjoyable. It taught me morals. So those are like basic books I think I read that in the past, like as a child in school. Really, I think we bought in. Yeah. So the Sugar Girl by may not be the best examples, but yeah. The Sugar Girl by Coswell Story. So it taught me that fear doesn't mean you should stop moving. Okay, she was in an evil forest and she kept going. So it shaped how I value kindness in others, and it nurtured my love for storytelling as well. So little things move the hearts of children. So you don't need to do too much before that story can resonate. So it was one of those wonderful stories. Really, I'm happy that you. So it's just about life in general. So if I face tough seasons, we face tough seasons, or new reminder of our inner strength, or sometimes I think the little girl was brave, and yeah, we need that as adults as well. Awesome.
Yeah, interesting. It's amazing how and it's so powerful to know how storytelling is both fictional and non-fictional ones. It brings people together. Oftentimes when people hear about storytelling, what really comes to mind is the entertaining or creative aspect of it, but it goes beyond that. Storytelling or stories impacts major aspects of our lives, our morals and value systems.
Exactly.
It shapes society, creates shared belief, and makes people connect on a deeper level. Do you agree with me?
Yes. I totally agree with you. You said it perfectly. Storytelling is so much more than just once upon a time. It's a bridge. It's a culture. It's memory. It's instruction wrapped in imagination. Stories teach without preaching. It builds identity and community. It helps us process pain and connects people, so it's relatable.
Powerful, yeah.
So they help us pause and say and see, I see you. I feel that too. That's powerful. So you feel what the other person, you empathize with the characters within the fiction, with the story, within the storyline. So I totally agree with you.
Great conversation. We've explored some of our childhood stories and memories. But I would like to wrap up with this episode by asking you this question. So, what will you advise the listeners in what to do and not to do when it comes to exploring childhood stories, and why? Maybe it's a bit psychological, but what you shouldn't do, what not to do, and what to do when you're exploring such childhood stories.
Oh wow, that's a powerful way to close. And thank you again, Mobola, for such a great meaningful conversation. So yes, my heartfelt advice on exploring your childhood stories. What to do? I'll start with. So be honest with yourself. Okay? Look for meaning beneath the moment and document it. Alright, don't feel bad about it. So what to do? Be honest with yourself. Look for meaning beneath the moment and document it. And what not to do? Don't compare stories with others. Don't rush past the uncomfortable parts. Okay? So don't be afraid to visit stories from a new angle. Maybe a bad experience, but when you look at it from another perspective, it will help you out. So ultimately, exploring childhood stories isn't about just about the past. It's about remembering who you've always been and recognizing how far you've come. All right. So don't put yourself down because of your past experiences. They are your stories. They are defines your identity. How far you've won in life. How you've also through life and being a victorious person. So that's what I would say to our listeners. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Chinwe, for the beautiful wrap up. It's been a pleasure exploring this insightful topic with you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Okay. We hope to explore more topics with you on this podcast in the future. So here is where we wrap up this episode on Tales from My Childhood with Chinwe. Thank you all for listening. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
We have come to the end of this episode. Thanks for listening to the BIM Hunter Hive podcast. See you in the next episode.